Hi, I'm Raleigh Brown. This is Curve Flattening Concert number. Actually, I didn't get this up right. Let me finish here. It's number 501, is it? I believe that may be the case. 451. Sorry. And I see that Rhonda Scott Merrick was the first one in, followed by Keith Shaw and Owen O'Malley and Slim Edelman and Pam Zappardino, Jeanette Pasqua. So I'll take this opportunity to clink you all. Welcome aboard. We'll do a little clink there. The little prince is asleep on his new little bed, his new little cot. And I will show you that before he gets up and moves because he's so cute. There he is, just as happy as a pig in shit. And that's my boy. Okay, so let's get back here. See if we can get the camera in the right place. Wow, good first shot. Okay, so Rich Fowler, Donna Greenberg, Renee Blaker, Kathy Marzik, Aretta and Ron, Carol Ann Mueller, or Muller, you can tell me which it is. Carol Pred, you have the first request this morning. Warren and Janelle seem to be here, and Mike Verbeck and Michael Wood on YouTube. Good to see you all this morning. Toby Simmons out there on the West Coast, and I want to thank Toby for being a West Coast ambassador for Bunny and for me, some of us East Coast people. And she's posts a lot of videos in my messages, tell me who's on when. Often I can't get to them, but there's that. Here's Charlie Ortolani, who is one of Charlie the dog's namesakes, and Helene Tober-Fowler. And we're off to the races here. So, when skies are cloudy and gray, they're only gray for a day. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away until that sunshine peeks through. There's only one thing to do. Just wrap your troubles in dreams. Dream your troubles away. Your castles may crumble, that's fate after all. Life is funny that way. No use to grumble, just let's smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Your castles may crumble, that's fate after all. Life is funny that way. It's no use to grumble, just smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. just wrap your troubles in dreams. Dream, dream your troubles away. Wrap your troubles in dreams. And you know, there's just an outside chance I might be able to actually tell you who wrote that. Let me see. No, I thought I had it up here, but I don't. Well, so it goes. Back to business. So next up is another request, and this one was from Kit Serikaku, who is apparently over there on Oahu, maintaining her body weight. She posted a huge dessert. It looked lovely. After saying, as soon as I get back from the States, I'm going to go on a diet. But she's probably asleep right now, using minimal calories. And let me say a few hellos before I launch into this. So Ken Nashif and Oreo are here, and Lauren Payne and Alexandra Ferris. Hi, Alex. And Donna Greenberg and Terry St. James and Margot Lemieux up there in Massachusetts. I managed not to call her Mario this time. It's ingrained, you know. I have a friend named Mario, and there was a great hockey player named Mario Lemieux. Mike Miller from North Carolina. And who else am I missing here? Ruben Musgrave. Yay. Hi, Ruben. And Linda Pasqua Blaze. Bernd Buchmann from Germany. And lots of folks. Glenn Farrow from out there in Colorado. And Bunny Barnes, her own self, getting ready for her live in-person gig. I had a live in-person gig yesterday, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we go. Michael Tierson. It's good to see you, Michael, and Dave Mason over there in Scotland. So this one's an old original of mine, which Kit requested. And Kit probably knows who I wrote it about, but she may not know. I would say she knew the person about whom it was written, but she probably doesn't know who the person is, who she knew. Well, I had a dream about you. I woke up thinking of you, remembering of hearing of the hard times that you'd seen. And I remember you were moving to Kentucky or Virginia. And I heard about your hard times, and I wondered how you'd been. Well, it's 4 years since I've seen you, and 8 years since I loved you. And I had no love before you, though I've been in love since then. I recall the sweetness of it. You were young and warm and quiet, and I hoped that you would always consider me your friend. And I heard about your marriage, how he was old and you were younger, and of how it burst asunder, and you went back home to stay. And I prayed that you weren't bitter, for your youth was so much sweeter. I hope you're sometimes smiling. You'll someday pass my way. Well, I had a dream about you. I woke up thinking of you, remembering of hearing of hard times that you'd seen. And I remember you were moving to Kentucky or Virginia. And I heard about your hard times, and I wondered how you've been. I had a dream about you, written in the early 70s, I think, something like that. I see Sharon Lee, my old friend. Actually, Sharon Saki Lips is here, and Deb Libby Clark is here. And Deb came out yesterday. Deb and CJ came out to my live gig at Percy Patchworks Coffee House, and it was great to see them and some other folks who I know, my friend Lynn Rainey and Rochelle Nordman, and a bunch of people I didn't know so much. And Alan Stroll was there. Some people who stop in on these concerts. So it was a great gig. We did it outside. They have like a little courtyard next to the church. And they set up a little canopy so I was not in the sun, and brought out a bunch of chairs, and it was really, really nice. It was a little windy, but beautiful weather. It was about 70 degrees when we started. And another group, Kelly Planer and the Perks, were also there, and they were great. I didn't get to stay for their whole set because there was Charlie issues to manage. If you go on my page and read today's Charlie Diaries, you'll know what those issues were, the little monster. And so I had to get back home, but I got to play one tune with them. We played a Neil Young song, Long may you live, long may you run, long may you run. And all in all, it was a lovely afternoon. And next up, I'm going to do one. I haven't seen my old friend Ann Mintz here yet this morning. I do see my old friend Peter Tawney. Hi, Peter. Peter Tawney knew one of the earliest dogs. He knew Max the dog. And one time I was playing, Peter and his late wife Janet Bregman Tawney had a band called the Juggernaut String Band, and they enlisted me to play guitar for them on a tour out into the Midwest. And at the time, I had nobody to look after Max the dog. So they said, well, just bring him along. So we had one of these old little Subaru station wagons. It was Peter and Janet's station wagon. And Peter, over the length of the tour, Peter's packing abilities got more and more refined, so that at the beginning the whole back was filled with banjos and fiddles and guitars and suitcases, and after a couple days, Max the dog would ride in the back seat with me, and Janet and Peter would ride in the front. And after a couple days, Peter got it down so there's a little room below the ceiling and above the luggage. And Max the dog would climb up on there. And I'd be sitting there, and his head would be like right here, resting on my shoulder. And he would fall asleep. We'd be on the road, and he'd fall asleep. And first his head would dangle down, and then little by little he'd start sliding down until he flopped into the seat and woke up with a start. Anyhow, it was a great trip, and it was on that trip that that I wrote the Max the Dog song, which includes the line, Max the dog, don't mount the children. And that was based on a true story at a house where we were briefly accepted as guests. So, so my dog history goes way back. This was 1983. Anyhow, it's good to see Peter Taney here, and he's moved up a little farther north than I am, and I hope life is filled with good fortune for him. And I see Mike Verbeek is here, and Jim Greco is here, and did I say hi to Donna Greenberg? I think I did. And David Arthur Radcliffe from the UK. So next up, oh, I think I've done the Max the Dog song, Kathy Marzik, but it only has a couple verses. So I've already cloinked you. I wanted to mention, I'll cloink you again. And those of you who might be new around here or whatever may know that this word cloink originally derives from my good friend Guy Davis, and also known as the Kokomo Kid. And Guy did concerts like this 6 days a week for the first couple of years of the pandemic, and maybe the first year and a half. And he would always cloink with his morning coffee. And coincidentally, when I got back from my gig yesterday, there was a message from Guy, and I called him up, and he was just calling to catch up with me and kind of let me know what was up with him. He's taken a little time off the road. He's traveled so much. And he's just such a wonderful guy and a great musician. So we thank him for the cloink terminology and so much more. Guy's a great person. So next up, I'm going to do an instrumental. This is for my friend Ann Mintz, and it's called Salvo and Ann Mintz. Salvo and Ann Mintz. And Ann might get to listen to that later, or else she's heard it a gazillion times already, so it's okay. Dale Dorman, welcome aboard. I'm glad to hear you're on time. We're about 20 minutes in right now, but I assume a lot of people, you might be watching for a while and not have bothered to say hello yet, and that's fine too, because there are more people watching than there are people who say hello. Some of you are silent partners. And Richard Drews on YouTube, thank you. Thanks for that compliment. In Tuscany, beautiful. And let's see here. Boy, we have a nice crowd today. And Peter Williamson, who's actually Peter Lips. I've said this before, but Facebook, in their unending lack of wisdom, decided that the name Peter Lips, or his wife's name, Sharon Saki Lips, was too lewd to be included on Facebook, so they had to use other last names. Who knew? So, and if you knew them, they're not people who I would say are inclined towards lewd behavior. Although, you never know. You never know what happens. So, I'm going to play a song. I've only played this song here once, and I haven't played it in a couple years because it does have it's a traditional tune, but it has it kind of didn't feel right to play it during the first, until now, since Jan passed away. Keith Shaw says, "Where can I donate?" Thank you, Keith. So actually, it is in the middle. I'm in the middle of the concert now, so it's a good time to do these announcements. So before I do this song, you can wait in suspense as to what the song will be, and I will do the announcements. The Invisibles are Judith Fox, Kit Serikaku, Kate Mack and Linda Wurster, Mike Stillman, Invisible Rubenstein, Joel Biget, and Mario Prue. If you want to donate some money to the Dog Biscuit and Other Stuff Fund, this right here is a link. It's up there. It's not really a link. You can't click on it and get anything, but it's up there all concert long. You have plenty of time to copy down what it says. It's paypal.me/Raleigh Brown, and the Venmo is at Roland-Brown-8. And those contributions are always appreciated. And I already told you about the coffee house. I told you about Charlie's Adventures, did I? Well, go read about Charlie's Adventures. I don't know if I want to discuss them here. Let me just tell you, just so we can keep it as, as honest as possible. Charlie had a lot of diarrhea this morning. Fortunately, not in the house. Not really diarrhea, but very loose stool. And if you read the article, you'll see why. Okay. So Max the dog, who I was talking about earlier, when we lived in, did he do this in Australia or did he do it back in the United States? I think it was back in the United States. He once managed to get a 1/4-pound stick of butter. He ate the whole stick of butter. And he pooped bright yellow for 3 days afterwards. So I'm on today. Tomorrow is Monday. I will be on at 3 o'clock for one of my regular concerts. On Tuesday, Cozy and Charlie are on the road. They're out in Kerrville, I think, right now as we speak. And then they're on to Moab for Cozy's, Cozy's folk camp. And so I don't know who's on Tuesday. If any of you are, post it here. Wednesday, I'll be back at 3, and if I know anything about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will tell you then. Okay. So this is the Death Letter Blues. Now I got a letter, Lord, it was addressed in red. got a letter. It was addressed in red. Now it said, "Come home, sweet daddy. Your baby's lying. Your baby's lying dead." Well, I wrote back a letter, Lord, addressed in white and black. I wrote back a letter. It was addressed in white and black. Now it said, "Stop all your crying. Won't bring my baby. Won't bring my baby. Won't bring my baby back." And I went down to the depot. Lord, I caught that train a-flying. Went down to the depot, and I caught that train a-flying. When I got there, I found my baby. I found my baby. I found my baby dying. Well, I looked down in her coffin. I went and looked down in her face. I went to her coffin. Lord, I looked down in her face. I said, "I'm sorry, baby. No one can take no one can take I just can't take your place." I went down to the graveyard. Lord, I got down on my knees. Down to the graveyard. Lord, I got down on my knees. I prayed to the good Lord to bring my baby, to bring my baby peace. You know you never miss the water till the well runs dry. You never miss the water till the well runs dry. never miss your true love till she shakes your hand, till she shakes your hand, till she shakes your hand goodbye. You know I got a letter Lord, it was addressed in red. A little something to cheer you up. Every once in a while, you know, sometimes I'll play a live gig and I'll see old friends. Terry St. James, did I say hi to you? Well, hi, Terry, up there in Montreal. Every so often I'll play a gig and I'll play a blues, and you know, some old friend will come back up to me afterwards, and they'll say, hang on. They'll say, oh, I had totally forgot that you used to play blues. Or they'll say, gee, I didn't know you played blues. And I still think of myself as, you know, a blues guitarist who plays some other stuff as well. But so this next one, and Mark Steele's here. Hey, Mark. And Aisling Bain, did I say hi to you? It's good to see you, Aisling. If we mention the Kokomo Kid, Aisling may appear. You just never know. Slim, if I nodded to Muddy Waters in that tune, I don't know it. I think the version I heard is by Son House, but I'm not even sure I nodded to that. It's just how I have the blues. So, Amy Roach is here. Hi, Amy. So I haven't done a Bob Dylan song for a few days, so I thought I would do this one. This is one of my 2 or 3 favorites. Now early one morning the sun was shining, I was laying in bed, wondering if she changed it all, if her hair was still red. Her folks, they said our lives together, they sure was gonna be tough. Never did like Mama's homemade dress, Daddy's bank book wasn't big enough. And I was standing by the side of the road, rain pouring on my shoes, headed out for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. We broke up on a dark, sad night, both agreeing it was best. And she turned around to look at me as I was walking away. I heard her say over her shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. Now I got a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell, but I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted on down to New Orleans, my luck it was to be employed, working for a while on a fishing boat just outside of Delacroix. And all the time I was alone, the past was close behind. I'd seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. Now she was working in a topless place, and I stopped in for a beer. I just kept staring at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there beside my chair. She said, "Tell me, don't I know your name?" I muttered something underneath my breath. She studied the lines in my face. I must admit, I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoe. Tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove and offered me a pipe. She said, "I thought you'd never say hello, you look like the silent type." Then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me. It was written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of them words rang true. They glowed like burning coals, leaping off of every page, like they were written in my soul from me to you. Tangled up in blue. Now I lived with them on Montague Street, in the basement down the stair. There was music in the cafes at night and revolution in the air. But he started into dealing with slaves. Something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned, and she froze up inside. And then when finally the bottom fell out, I became withdrawn. The only thing I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on, like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue. So now I'm headed back again. I got to get to her somehow. All those people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters' wives. I don't know how it all got started, don't know what we did with our lives. But me, I'm still on the road, headed for another joint. We always did feel the same. We just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue. So that's Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan. And I saw a note there from who? From Donna Greenberg. And yes, it's not really, she's asking about Tim O'Brien's album of Dylan stuff called Red on Blonde. And it's not really about Blonde on Blonde. He just used that name, but he does a bunch of great Dylan songs on it. And Tim O'Brien is largely considered one of the greatest bluegrass singers, bluegrass and Americana singers of my generation. And he proves it on that album. That's a really lovely album. It's called Red on Blonde, redheaded Tim O'Brien singing Bob Dylan songs. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's always great to have you all here. I'm seeing if there's anybody I missed. I don't think so. Martin Mcneil, hey. Good to see you, Martin. And if you're ever doing any live streams, feel free to mention them here or just message me and I'll announce it here. Because Martin is a great blues guitarist, and singer. And he's kind of put a hold on his live streams, but they were really terrific. So, Nancy Ludek Piazza, good to see you, my dear. It was so great to see you in person. And you and Carol Pratt and Lauren Payne, the whole gang and Kit Serikaku, we all met up in a park in Ohio a few weeks ago. So I'm going to close it out. We started out with Wrap Your Troubles in Dreams, and that's a kind of upbeat song, and then we went to the depths with Death Letter Blues and came up a little way and Tangled Up in Blue, and we'll finish it off with a Cozy Sheridan song to get it a little on the up and up again. All you gotta do is be happy. Happy's gonna get you by. Better not to make it a project. Happy isn't something you try. All you gotta know is it'll come and go. It wasn't designed to stay. All you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of your day. Now all you gotta do is be happy with this moment as it arrives. Happy isn't looking for a medal. He's just happy to be alive. And don't hold too tight, that's not what he likes. And then he gets hard to find. Happy doesn't really like Mondays, but he's trying to change his mind. He's gonna hang around, putter out in the yard. He's gonna let you down if you expect him to work too hard. Well, Happy, he's kinda like breathing, a little like the Gordian knot. 'Cause if all you want to do is be happy, well, pretty soon you're not. All you gotta do is be happy. Yeah, happy's gonna get you by. Better not to make it a project. Happy isn't something you try. Yes, all you gotta know is it'll come and go. Wasn't designed to stay. All you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of your day. Yeah, all you gotta do is be happy. Just some part of your day. So Charlie has changed locations there. There he is on his favorite chair, which has been moved out. It used to be behind me, but now we have the love seat, so it's not anymore. He's been quite a relaxed little dog this morning, and he had a lot of exercise. I get him out to the park nice and early, and And then we go out in the backyard and we throw the ball for a while with the chuck it thing, so I can throw it far. My 73-year-old shoulder does not throw the old fastball like it used to. So be happy, be healthy. It's a hard one sometimes, but you got to try. Be brave. That's also a hard one. If you're not healthy, you really got to be brave. And be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. Like Charlie's doing right now. That's what we call gilding the lily. Sorry about that. So love to you all. I hope I'll get to see some of you tomorrow. And Charlie and I have nothing to do today but do dog training and hang out and enjoy the Sunday. It's pretty nice weather here. Hope you have a good day too.